Hey, so I just wanted to cut in and say right before the video starts, this is a new series I'm doing. Basically, I'll be answering your questions. Like, you can submit them in the comments section of the previous installment or submit them on Discord. There's a whole channel in the Discord where you can submit them. Uh, Basically, you ask questions and I answer them. So feel free to submit your questions. I just wanted to say this real quick so everybody hears this. And on with the video. So today's question comes from Flox, or Flox. Sorry if I butchered that name. He says, "May I ask, and I know this is a dumb question, how do you make your comedy? Like thinking about it." Dumb question, but I may as well ask. And it's not a dumb question. It's a pretty important topic when it comes to film and animation and such, so I thought I'd do my best to answer it for anyone else who is struggling with comedy in their shorts or skits or films or whatever you're doing. And so, generally, when I'm writing or coming up with the comedy for my films or animations, generally it will just start off as a joke. It just starts off as a random joke. I come up with a random joke. I'm just like, that's actually pretty funny. I want to use that now, but how? And so I give it a setting. I put it in a scenario with a situation and characters. And I write all that out. And then, once I got it all written out, I actually stand up, move away from my desk, and act it out. I actually act it out as like the sole actor. It allows me to hear it out loud, figure out what all the characters are going to be doing. It's actually very helpful. I don't know if this will help anybody else, but that's how I do it. And so once I got that all done, I try and get some secondhand feedback from my friend Dylan or my friend Paxton, or I actually just ask my mom how the joke sounds. And I usually get varying answers on how the joke sounds, how it works. But they're usually pretty helpful. Sometimes not always, but they're usually pretty helpful when writing it. And then I put it through some more revisions and rewrites. And then I have the scene. Once I feel happy with the scene, I add it into the script to whatever I'm doing. If it's just the short, then that's okay. It works pretty well for making those. And so then, obviously, I make it. And sometimes there's even changes to the script while I'm filming it. And so, fun fact. And now, there's a good way to research comedy in movies and TV and animation and such. And a good way that I find to do it is to just like go on YouTube or watch some movies, watch TV, and just kind of analyze how they do their comedy. Like, you can find a lot of good comedy sketches on YouTube and just kind of analyze how they do that. And usually it starts off with a setting, a situation, they add some characters, boom, they start it off. They get the build up. And it keeps building up. They're getting ready for the joke, and then boom, there's the joke. Haha, funny, everybody laugh. That's usually the method for everything. And I think that's a pretty good method because without a build up to a joke, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't. It doesn't. You can't have the payoff but no build up. And I think that's pretty important to remember. Like, you can't just have somebody say bazinga and it's funny. Because it's not. I mean, it may be a weird word, but it's not funny unless there's a build up. Now, you can really study the build-up or research the build-up, as I like to call it, by just really watching movies, TV, comedy sketches, or stand-up comedy is actually a really good example because, they have to build up to the joke. I find that's a really good way to do it, learn how the comedy works and how they do it, really. Just how they get the joke to be funny, or at least they try to make it to be funny, like The Office or Friends or Big Bang Theory. those are pretty good examples. And I will say the two sitcoms I just mentioned, other than The Office, like Friends and Big Bang Theory, they don't have the best examples. I will say The Office is probably better for that. But if you are looking for build-ups in comedy, I definitely recommend checking some of those out. At least they probably will help. And movies in general, they're usually pretty helpful when it comes to this. As you know, they're movies, so sometimes they have to include comedy. So I recommend, like, kind of just going on YouTube or open up Netflix and find something that uses comedy and figure out how they get the build-ups working, how they get the jokes working, like how they make it to either be funny or at least a little funny. It should help you out a bit. Basically, what to take away from this is, when setting up a joke, first, kind of get your joke ready, and then place, like, where is it taking place? Who's there? Like, what characters are there? What are they doing? And begin. What's the build-up to that? How is that scene going to play out? And once you got your build-up ready, find a good time to place in the joke. And if you follow this method, this should be pretty good. Now, I will say, it's not good to just throw in a random joke somewhere. Like I said, just randomly throwing in Bazinga is not funny. So, I hope this helped. Special thanks to Fwox for the question submission on Discord. You can join the Discord to submit your questions or just comment them. The link to the Discord is in the description, along with Fwox's YouTube channel. I hope you all found this useful. I hope this helps you and other people in the future when coming up with comedy and such. And, yeah, thanks for watching. Be sure to submit your questions, and I will do my best to answer at least some of them.